the freakiest y'all done did being a stripper?
I had a customer paid me for shots of my urine.
Yo, ladies is out here getting it done. All right, there's a new season of Beyond the Pole airing Thursday nights on WE TV. Not only do I have the creator on the line, but we also have one of the stars. One time for Shante, Paige, and Gigi Maguire. What's up, ladies?
What's up? What's up?
Yo, you guys are back for a second lap, which is amazing within itself. We clap it up for that one time. It's hard to get people on TV that look like us and, of course, keep them there. But you guys are packing something special.
This show is amazing, like beyond words, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. I was not a part of season 1, even though I was a fan of season 1. And I watched it a few times, the entire season, but to be a part of it this time around is just like mind blowing. I'm so excited. I tell Shante thank you a million times over every chance I get for bringing me into this amazing opportunity.
Now, Shante, you know, you're based in Atlanta, the land of 1 million strip clubs and about 10 million strippers to fill them in. What was it about the people that you chose, not only for the last season, but for this current season that, put them on your radar to where you're like, all right, these are the girls I need to have?
I think it's the star quality, and it's the compelling personalities. For instance, Gigi, I met Gigi at we were doing a panel together, a hustler panel. And when she walked in the room, she commanded presence, she took over. I was like, okay, who is this? And, she and I started talking, and I was like, I have to get her on season 2, but I couldn't figure out how to do it because she's not in the club anymore. So I was going to have her do appearances. Then COVID came. I reached out to her and I said, what are you doing to make money? And she told me she was back on OnlyFans. And I was like, here we go. I can get her in on my COVID special that's prior to season 2. And then season 2, she can just kind of slide right in.
Got you. Now, Gigi, for you, when you think about way back in the days, like when you first started dancing, what was the first club you danced at? And what was the song that you wanted to make sure the DJ brought you out to, just so you can kind of shake your nerves off and just really give it all you got?
I'm from Philly. I'm a Philly John. I'm an Uptown John for life. No matter where I live at, I'm always going to rap. I'm a John. I'm from Philly. I used to work at Delilah's. That was actually the first club I worked at, Delilah's Den. I actually don't remember the very, very first song, but I can say after I had about a year in, I started dancing to PYT. So Michael Jackson's PYT would be the first song that I danced to get my night started on my very first stage set every night. And to this day, when I hear that song, it instantly takes me back to that time,
Really?
And those outfits I used to wear with the little ruffle socks and the little boy underwear and the tank tops. It was such a different time back then. But Michael Jackson's PYT.
What are your nerves like, when you do it for the first time?
So
some people are born exhibitionists and it's nothing to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So me personally, dance is a part of my life, has always been a part of my life. Since the age of 4, I was on stage doing ballet and tap dance and that whole thing, professional dance, all the way through high school. So I've always been a dancer. For me, the nerves came in when it was time to be on stage in the nude in front of strangers. That was the part that I had to deal with initially. But it's 50 other women on the floor that's nude in front of strangers as well. So it's like, you're not the only one. So you kind of blend in with everybody else. And it's like, okay, we all naked. Let's get it. There was a point in time where I would be nervous to run into people that I knew. My friend's dad came in the club and, I was kind of nervous to talk to him. And as I'm talking to him, he didn't even realize that I was his daughter's friend. I had to bring it up aren't you Mr. Curtis? And I told her girl, your daddy was in the club last night. And she was like, I ain't surprised. So, once all of those things kind of, went over, then it's like, whatever, let's get it. The money is the motivation. So if anything, you just keep your eye focused on the prize and you're able to overcome any obstacle when it comes to, nervousness or, worrying about anything like that in the club.
And Shante, I gotta say that's one of the things I think is dope about the show, because you kind of get behind the science about what motivates people to get out there and work, and it's more about the things that happen in the club. When you came up with the concept for the show, what was your mission statement, I guess, or like what did you want people to walk away with after seeing the series?
I really wanted to humanize the women. And I wanted to show what would make a woman take her clothes off for complete strangers. Like, what was the motivation behind it? And I wanted to show that they're just like any other woman that has a 9-to-5. They just get their money a different way. And I think season 1, we achieved that. And then we added a lot of new ladies this season and a lot of different drama this season. So it's gonna be really good. It's a really, really good season.
And it's dope how y'all tackled the whole pandemic in which we were in, and people were trying to figure out, how they're gonna get their money. And the crazy thing is, like, I don't really even spend a lot of time in strip clubs, like almost no time in strip clubs. There was an incident and I was like, I'm never coming to strip clubs again, but that's neither here nor there. I was always wondering, like, damn, how will they make their money during the pandemic? And, you guys actually touch on that. So what was the hardest thing that you had to maneuver through and around to keep that money coming in during a time where, like, not everybody was moving around like they used to be?
Well, I actually retired 10 years ago. So I wasn't currently in the club when, everything started happening. However, OnlyFans intrigued me and I jumped on there, and I actually made more money during the pandemic than most. OnlyFans has gotten this huge push from everyone in the music. Beyonce put it in a song, and everybody's all eager to see what's this OnlyFans about. A lot of people think that it's just straight porn, but in our reality, it's a forum to where as though you create your platform and you can put anything. People are on there doing workout lessons and yoga classes, and people are on OnlyFans doing cooking shows and all types of stuff. But society and the urban social media crowd has put the stigma on OnlyFans that everybody on there is popping pussy or doing porn or sucking dick, and that's not really the case. But people want to see that. It's like a train wreck. You can't help but look. People want to come and see. So during that time when we were on quarantine, through the thick of it, I'm talking about like last spring, March, April, May, I probably was bringing in an average of $20,000 a month from OnlyFans. And me personally, I am only, still to this day on OnlyFans, I'm only giving titty pics and twerk videos. I got a pole across the room and across the hall in another room, and I'll go in that room and I'll dance, a minute or two and post that. And, I might become topless during that dance. And then that's considered an exclusive once I take my top off. And I'm selling those videos for 40, 50, 60 bucks, depending on the length of them. And guys are buying them. They're asking for exclusive custom videos, and I'm charging $100 and up for those. And these guys are buying it still. So it's like, even though I wasn't dancing, OnlyFans came around and I jumped on that. And not only did it help me financially during those times when I really didn't know what was going to happen, it also got me this opportunity to be on season 2 of Beyond the Pole.
Which was a dope alley-oop. Now, but when you think about OnlyFans, as it relates to not only, it's a great hustle. People are getting money in every way, and not just stripping, like you said, or like, doing explicit things. But, in the world of strip clubs, do you feel like OnlyFans helps that industry or hurts that industry? Because some people are like, hey, why do this here when I can do it from the safety of my crib with, less interaction with people that I don't want interacting with me?
If I was in the club right now, I would still have an OnlyFans. Because it's like you're making money when you're at work, and you're making money in your sleep as well. because you can't work 24 hours. Listen, the club ain't even open on Sundays in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta. So if I was still working at Magic City, then Sunday would be my day off for sure, my guaranteed day off, because I couldn't work even if I wanted to. But maybe that would be the day that I spent the most time on OnlyFans. Maybe I would go live on OnlyFans or something like that, so that I can keep that money coming in on my day off. So I think that it's maybe a gift and a curse, but me personally, I would use it to my advantage if I was still in the club, for sure.
Got you. Now, Shante, I mean, you have a very fly collection of people, you know, on the cast this season. Miss Dom, Angel Kake, Empress, Lyric, Virgo, Gigi, of course, Yaya, Treasure, and Milk Marie, aka Pinky. Now, were you, you know, ears to the street when you was like, you know, trying to like cast people for the show? Were you actually in the strip club, Shante, like recruiting some of these people?
Yeah, I do go in the strip clubs. I go on the strip clubs. I find out like who everybody's talking about, who's the one dancer that that most people gravitate to. I think you have to immerse yourself in the culture to really truly understand it. And me coming from the music business, I used to go to strip clubs all the time, so it wasn't anything new to me.
Gotcha.
But what I wanted to add to what Gigi was saying, it's a testament to the consummate hustlers that these women are, that when there was a pandemic, it didn't stop them. They're like, okay, how are we going to make money now? What's the next? And that's the thing I love about dancers. They're always on the grind.
Indeed, nonstop. And Gigi, I gotta say, you know, because I think you said something in the trailer that you're like 40 plus, but you still look beautiful, holding it together. Not every results may vary. Not everybody holds it together as well as you. So let's just say, like in the football game, you know, like, you know, an average athlete might get a 4 to 6 year run in football and the NFL. A basketball player, if you're nice, maybe you get 10 plus. What is the average shelf life for a woman in the strip club industry?
Again, that varies. It all depends on the woman. It depends on her mindset. It depends on how well she takes care of herself. A lot of these young girls that even aren't dancers are running themselves down in the club every night, drinking, and the hookahs and the weed and the pills, and just not, you know, getting adequate sleep or eating correctly. And me personally, I've always been, you know, I drink my water, I take my vitamins. I've always been very aware of what I consume and what I put into my body. I do drink and smoke, but, you know, I'm not excessive with it. I'm not out late nights. And I think that a lot of the people in general in society, they put a time frame on when a dancer should be a dancer. Like it's for the younger girls.
Right.
I don't necessarily think that's true. If I wasn't in the predicament that I was in, to where as though I didn't have to dance, I probably would still dance. There are a lot of women who are my age or older or within my same age group that still dance. And I honestly don't think anything is wrong with it. I feel like as long as you got it, flaunt it, as long as you can still do it, do it. As long as your body and your mind is in a space where you're okay with it, to each his own. Like everyone lives their own lives. Everyone has their own destiny. Like OG India, for instance. OG India is way older than, I don't want to say it like that, well older than me personally. And she's still dancing. And everybody in Atlanta knows OG India, and everybody else knows that she probably ain't gonna stop no time soon. And guess what? It's her life, it's her body, and India looked damn good. Word. You know, I'm sure there's others, but you know, she's my friend in real life, so she popped into my mind. But then you have the girls who are 18 and who are just getting started. And I personally think that that's too young. I was 19 in the club, but I was 19 in the club because my back was against the wall. I was a single mother. I was homeless. I had no choice. Right. You know, I had legal issues that I had to take care of, and that's just my personal story. But for a young girl, and I get these DMs all the time, oh, I want to dance. Can you tell me how to get started? I just turned 18, and I'm like, I ignore them because I'm not about to tell a young woman who doesn't really have to do this, run out and make this her first option. You know, there are women who, like me, who back was against the wall and didn't really have too many other options at the time. Okay, do what you got to do, but do it smart. You know, I have a niece who's sleeping in the next room right now who is currently dancing. She lives with me. She's 23 years old. Her back was against the wall during COVID, and she was going to try to dance in New Jersey in the middle of the pandemic when things were still closed. And I'm like, girl, bring that ass to Atlanta and make some real money. If you're going to do it right. And let me watch over you and give you the tools and the keys. And right now she's working at the Cheetah, and she is Banks is her name, and Banks, making bank. You know what I'm saying? And she has me as a mentor. So I would rather her do it here than do it there. I just say that, and I tell her this all the time, and this is always my advice to a young woman that wants to dance or who is dancing: stay focused and save your money, because it isn't something that everybody can do forever. It isn't something that you even want to do forever. It gets tiring. Yes, it has its ups and downs. It has its goods and its faults, but at the end of the day, you don't want to have to dance and deal with the negative parts of it if you don't have to. So for these young girls out here that are thinking, they see this show and they see dancers on Instagram, and they see, you know, the shoes and the bags and the cars and the glamour, and they think that it's so easy and that they're just going to walk on the stage and walk off the stage with a trash bag full of money. That's not the case, and it's really not that easy. And if you can put your best foot forward to find a different hustle, do so. You know, and not knocking my hustle, because again, if I had to at this very moment go back to the club today, I would. Luckily, I don't have to. But at the same time, and even when I was dancing, I've always had the same mindset of these younger girls don't follow in my footsteps. I do this so that you don't have to. I have a daughter of my own who will never be a dancer. Ever. And it's because I did what I had to do to make sure that she did not follow in my footsteps. But yeah, age frame, blah, do what you got to do when you got to do it. If you got the looks, if you got the brains, if you can stand the heat, baby, go get hot. Okay.
Okay, so but
ain't nobody turning that
there. There's a few things that you said that I want to dissect real quick. So you said your daughter will never do that because you paid the way and you did stuff so she wouldn't have to. But people are independent minded. They do what they want to do. What if your daughter independently went out and did it and you found out after the fact? How would you feel about it?
Same as with my niece that's sleeping behind this wall right here in the next room over. I would make sure that she's doing it the right way.
Okay.
I'm on her ass every single day about what she's doing and how she's doing it, and making sure that she's making the right decisions, because I learned from making mistakes. I learned from my mistakes in the industry. I danced for about 10 years, and there was a lot of mistakes that I made that had me, you know, going back and doing things over, or, you know, figuring things out on the way. So if my daughter did come to me and say, you know what, you know, the industry that I chose just isn't working out for me, and I feel like I, you know, can make more money doing what you did, then I would hold her hand through it and make sure that she stayed on the right path.
Got you. Now I pose this question to both of y'all, like, you know, because y'all both strong-minded women, you know, who are in very competitive, you know, sometimes male chauvinistic businesses. How do y'all manage relationships with what you do? Now, Shante, I'll start with you. You know, you're a boss, you're executive, you writing checks over there, and some men can be intimidated by that. Like, how does that affect your relationships?
My personal relationships, you're saying?
Yeah.
It's going to take a strong-minded man to deal with me, especially because all the people that I have around, and just, I mean, you worked with me before, Headkrack.
But you was always cool breeze, like, you know, you'd be on set, but like, you was just overseeing, making sure everything was smooth. So like, you know, like it didn't feel like, you know, it wasn't overbearing. Like I felt like you was in control. And so in control that you didn't have to be so hands-on, because, you know, the people knew what they expected, you know, what you expected of them.
I actually I'm an alpha female. So I actually like a man that takes control, a man that, you know, has a plan, or a man that tells me, you know, this is what we're doing tonight, that kind of thing. But it's going to take somebody who's very secure in himself.
Got you. Now for you, Gigi, I mean, I know, you know, sometimes people see the work of art moving around back there and they're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? They try to shoot their shot, or maybe you're in a relationship and they think they could be the one that'd be like, hey, you don't have to do any of this extra stuff anymore. Let me take care of you. How have you had to deal with that? Or have you dealt with that?
I actually did deal with that. When I was dancing, I was dealing with a man who is a executive in the music industry. a very big record label. He is the boss of all bosses for a lot of who we know and love in the industry as far as artists and, you know, A&Rs and that whole thing is concerned. And there came a point, he met me, you know, while I was dancing, and there came a point within our relationship when he was just like, you know, I am no longer comfortable with my artists and the people that work for me being able to show up at Magic City any given Monday and watch you on stage with your pussy out. Like, I just don't feel comfortable with that any longer. So we had a conversation, and the conversation ended with us deciding that I would leave the club. So this is actually how I left the club, was because, you know, the person that I was with just was over it at the time. I think that in hindsight, I probably should have stayed. We could have figured out a way for me to stay a little while longer, because I kind of quit instantly. I feel like I should have had a better game plan. Let's just say that, you know, I should have stayed a little while longer and created a plan to where as though I would be more comfortable once I left. Because once I did leave, granted, yes, I got a platinum Amex in the mail the next day, you know, but I wasn't prepared on my own with my own savings and, you know, everything that I was doing with myself. And granted, he took care of me, you know, throughout the years, but we never got married and things didn't work out between us. And here I am back in Atlanta. So, you know, it didn't really fall all the way through to being this happily ever after that I thought it would be. On the flip side of dealing with a man, and I do want to note that he's from New York, and there's a different demographic up there when it comes to strip clubs. Men from that area, the northern states, they have a different mindset of what strip is and how to deal with it, versus I feel like if he was a southern man, that he would have a different aspect on the whole situation, because it's just a different way at how they look at strip down here.
Got you. So you don't really think it was like a thing about, like, you know, lack of security in the relationship, but you're just like, you know, just the things he's seen in the business that he's in versus you know, how it operates down south. I get it.
Exactly. Now, not even just with that relationship, I've had plenty of relationships throughout the time that I was stripping, and it was never really an issue until it became an issue, right? So it was all good in the beginning, and then once things get, you know, serious, and then it's like, well, who's this guy? Well, why this guy just speak to you? Why this guy just call you Ginger? That's not your name. Like, you know, we could be out in the movies and the guy's like, hey, Ginger, how you doing? And he's looking at me like, oh, he must be a customer. Oh, wait, you know? So it's like, there's always been a little bit of an insecurity when it comes to men dealing with women who are dancers. I can say that there was one relationship that I was in where this man was just a cheerleader for me and for what I did. That relationship clearly didn't work out either, but that was the only time that I felt like, okay, I finally got a guy who understands. I finally got a guy who is helping me manage this money and, you know, helping me put my goals forward and do the right thing with this money. And he's cheering me on and helping me. But at the end of the day, he had a baby on me by somebody else, and that's why we broke up. So,
damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, exactly. I like watching the trailer. There was a very interesting thing. You said, like, somebody once propositioned you, they wanted a shot glass of your pee, I think it was.
Yes, that really happened. So,
but something tells me that's probably not the most interesting proposition that you've had.
It wasn't the most interesting proposition, but this is something that happened on a regular basis. I don't know what's going to play out in the actual scene because of editing and everything, but I will tell you that this guy was a regular customer, and for years he would ask me to pee in the cup for him to drink it, and I would turn him down. He caught me on a slow night, and that $500 that he offered, you know, was very tempting when I had bills up that was due, and I did it. He ordered me a drink. I drank the shot. I went into the bathroom. I peed in the cup. I came back and gave it to him. He drank it. I watched him drink it. And this is something that happened multiple times throughout the years that I was at that club.
Multiple times with the same dude or different dude? Okay.
No. With the same person.
And that guy's clearly undateable.
Can I have a special shot today? You want to give me a special shot today? And I'll be like, okay. I mean, once I already did it once, it was like, I might as well keep collecting these $500 checks. But you know, the big thing that guys offer is penis. You know, they proposition you to go home with them. I've had couples proposition me for threesomes.
Did you say yes to any of those propositions?
I did. There was a time that I said yes to a proposition with a couple, and the woman actually spazzed out on him because she did not like the way that he was handling me, like literally like mid-stroke. She flipped out.
She wanted him to be more aggressive with you, or he
was enjoying himself too much. And
she saw the look of love in that nigga's eyes while he was in the midst.
She couldn't stand to watch him enjoy himself so much, and she shut the whole thing down. Like, you know, in the middle of it, and whatever happened. But I do want to say he was a repeat customer. And he had bought her in maybe twice before I agreed to meet up with them for the threesome. So it wasn't like they just walked in the club like, hey, you come in.
He was scouting the location.
It wasn't like that. You know, he had to butter me up a little bit first for me to feel like I even wanted to try that. But yeah, I did. There's a lot of stuff that I've done that, you know, most people might frown upon, or most people might be like, oh, you did. And it's just like, this is my life and I lived it, and I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done. So yeah, I did leave the club with a couple before and have a threesome. Absolutely.
Well, listen, these are all TV-worthy stories, and you can see these stories every Thursday night on We TV. You know what I'm saying? Tap in or Beyond the Pole. Yo, Shante, what all can we expect for the rest of the season? I know we're a few episodes in right now. What we got to look for? Because it's 10 episodes in all. We already got 2 knocked down. Where we go from here?
Just like Gigi's interview, these women are honest, raw, candid. They don't hold anything back, and I think that's the beauty of this show. They don't put on airs. They just throw it all out there. And I want to see it over and over and over again. And I was in post.
I was there, and I still can't wait to see, because I don't know what happened. Okay, and I was there.
All right, so let's just say, Gigi, like, you know, if you decided to strip for one night only, right, in the baddest club, I ain't even gonna say in the city of Atlanta, let's make it worldwide, baddest strip club in the world, and you could take 2 other girls from Beyond the Pole with you, who you taking with you?
I chuckle. I am so loyal, and you'll see this play out in the season as well, my loyalty. It would be at Magic City, honestly. And I would have to bring Virgo with me because she is my right hand ride or die. I would love to bring Angel Kake with me because she is one of the women that I started with. We actually started Magic City within the same month, so we used to work day shifts together. So there's your answer. It would be at Magic City with Virgo and Angel Kake for sure.
All right, they get into the bag. You know, and it just dawned on me, light bulb went up. When you say a couple propositions you, it's not the same couple that everyone's talking about right now in regards to propositions.
No. I love them. Shout out to them. I love them, and I'm team them. You know, that's neither here nor there. But this happened in Philadelphia at Delilah's within my first year and a half or so dancing. In general, this is when that happened. So yeah,
it is. Well, real stories happening in real time every Thursday night. Keep it a real. We TV Beyond the Pole. Gigi, thank you so much. Shante, thank you so much. From season 2 all the way to season 5. I can't wait to see how long this goes, man. There's never a dull moment.
Yes, thank you.
So excited. And again, Shante, thank you for bringing me along and providing this opportunity for me. I'm beyond excited every single day. And I'm still a fan, even though I'm a part of the show. I am still a fan, and I'm still waiting, just like everyone else, for Thursday at 10 p.m. so I can see what happens next. Because
we got a watch party going on. Let's make it happen.
Yes.
All right, ladies, y'all have a good one, yo.